Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we are watching another chess classic played in 1920 between chess legend Max Euwe, who was playing against Richard Reti this game. Max Euwe playing as white, and what is so interesting about this game is that Max Euwe created a really astonishing attack against the black, but black managed to create a spectacular counter-attack, sacrificing his rook and his bishop in order to checkmate Max Euwe's king. So truly an amazing chess classic and a game you will surely enjoy. So without further ado, we will go straight into it. Max Euwe opened the game with e4, we have e5 on the board, knight f3 and knight c6 is played for Richard Reti, and after bishop c4 we are in Italian game. After knight to f6, game continued with d4, although you know that after knight to f6 players often played knight g5 with the idea to attack this pawn here on f7, and the game usually continues with d5 for black, and this is so-called fried liver attack. But after knight to f6, d4 was played for Max Euwe, and after e takes on d4 we are in Scotch gambit. White continues with castle and he sacrifices another pawn here on e4. Black accepts this sacrifice, and after rook to e1, of course black's main idea is to pin this knight and use exposed black king that still hasn't castled. We have d5 on the board played for black. After bishop takes on d5, queen takes on d5, we have knight to c3 on the board. White temporarily sacrifices a piece, but after knight to c3 he will regain it, because as you can see knight is pinned and you cannot take out this knight because your queen will fall. That is the reason why Richard Reti played queen to a5, and right now we have knight takes on d4. Max Euwe decided to play a weaker move in this position, because after queen to a5 the best continuation is knight picking up on e4, so you return the material, and after bishop to e7 black has to castle as soon as possible, because after knight takes on e4 knight f6 is a huge threat, so black has to be careful. After bishop to e7, after bishop g5, black can simply castle here, because right now after bishop takes on e7, knight takes on e7 and knight takes on d4, position is completely balanced and material is equal. But after queen to a5 and knight takes on d4, Max Euwe took a bit of a risk, and after knight takes on d4 white continues with queen takes on d4. Of course, after knight takes on d4, unfortunately after rook takes on e4 this is not a good move for white, because black simply has knight to e6 and he will continue with bishop e7, and simply white doesn't have enough compensation for his piece. So that is the reason queen to d4 was played, and right now black continues with f5 in this position. Now probably you're wondering what is the next white moves. Maybe you're wondering if f3 is the right move. f3 is not the right move, although it seems so natural here to take advantage of this pin knight, because bishop c5 and your queen will fall because your queen is pinned. So after f5 black decided to play white decided to play bishop to g5, developing move, and also taking the advantage of these dark squares, threatening queen to d8 here check, which looks dangerous. Right now black decided to play queen to c5, black is still a piece up and he wants to trade his queens. Obviously this works in his favor, but right now white of course refuses, and after queen d8 check, king f7, black is completely fine here, although he lost the right to castle. We have knight takes on e4 and f takes on e4 for black, and right now it seems like this bishop and this queen is really dangerous, but black seems to do just fine. White continues with rook a to d1, trying to create an attack on this weak king. And just so you know, after f takes on e4, rook picking up on e4 is not a good move, because right now bishop f5 is what black has in mind, and after queen takes on a8, bishop takes on e4, black is now simply winning. He has a piece up and he has huge initiative here. This bishop is hanging, these diagonals are looking towards white king, and white simply doesn't have any compensation. So that is the reason that after rook a to d1, right now black has to respond, and he responds with bishop to d6, a beautiful sacrifice. Right now this queen is under attack and you have to choose your destiny pretty much. There is nothing you can do, you have to accept this sacrifice. Queen takes on h8, and right now Richard Reti decided to pick up this bishop on g5, and now material is balanced, although black is simply doing better here because he has these two bishops, a bishop pair for one rook, and also as you can see these bishops are looking really scary here, looking towards the white king, and white has to respond. Now one of the moves to respond here was g3, but then which is recommended move by the computer, but still after queen to h5 black is still doing better. After queen to g5, f4 was played here for white. Now white's idea here was that after this happens en passant, black will continue with queen to e8 and then try and create some sort of a counter attack, although black is simply doing just fine. After queen to f6 there is nothing you can do. You can start checking and maybe hoping for some draw, but black can escape your checks and he will be just fine. That was the main idea of the f4 move, but Richard Reti decided to play a queen to h4. Of course he doesn't want to take this pawn with en passant, and right now white continues with a rook picking up on e4. After this move we have firstly bishop to h3 here, sacrificing your bishop. After this move, of course, this bishop is currently temporarily sacrificed. You don't want to lose your queen, obviously. Your queen is now under attack and you have to be careful. There is not many moves you can go with your queen and you have to accept another sacrifice here. And after bishop to c5 check, this is where practically our game ended, because white saw that there is no way of stopping the checkmate, a brilliant sacrifice here. I will now show you what white had in mind here. After king to h1, black continues with bishop to g2 check, and after king takes on g2, black continues with queen g4 check, and right now you can go on h1. If you go on h1, queen f3 is the checkmate. And of course, after queen g4 check, if you go on f1 in this position, then queen to f3 again check, and after king e1, queen f2 is a spectacular checkmate. Now after bishop to c5, maybe you saw that there is a rook d to d4 here, but this doesn't solve anything because bishop takes on d4 check, and after rook takes on d4, queen e1 is the checkmate. Of course, after bishop to c5, if you decide to go on f1, queen f2 is a spectacular checkmate again. And that is how this game ended, guys, and this is all I have prepared for you today. If you enjoyed this game, please make sure to click the like button, and if you enjoy my videos, click the subscribe button, because I try and upload 3 to 4 new videos each week, long form videos. I also upload shorts every day, and your comments and your engagement means a lot to me, because I'm trying to make this channel a primary source of my income, and your help is much appreciated, guys. Also feel free to give me your comments about this game, about my analysis and disposition. Do you have something to add? Do you have something to recommend, like your games or maybe some famous games that you would like to see on the channel? If you have, please free to do so. I always enjoy reading your comments. And as always, guys, I wish you a pleasant day, and we will see each other in the next video, in the next classic game. Have a nice evening. Bye bye.